In this episode, I am bringing you some fall leaves and flower decor, and I hope you'll stick around to the end to see how they turned out. So I am using this as a template. I'm going to cut out each of these leaves, and I can have these on CANVA for you as a free printable if you'd like. I did some bigger ones and then some smaller ones just to kind of give it more dimension. And so then I've got a few different colors of paper. I had these 3 bags in my stash. I never throw anything away. And then I have this color. Now it's hard to tell, but I don't know if you can see. This one's just a touch lighter than this one, and then the light, you can really tell the difference. And then there's 3 different contrasts. So I'm going to kind of do one of each in each color on both sizes. So then I can get them kind of, you know, throughout. And I'm not sure if I'm going to do just the 3 big ones in these colors and then, or in these 2 colors, and then the small ones in the dark to give it a highlight of color. I don't know yet, but we'll see how it goes. And I'm going to just cut these out real quick and I'll be right back. So for the bag, instead of just cutting it off here, I don't want to waste any of it, so because I might need it all. Okay, so I disassembled the bag so I could get more use out of it, and that way I could have more square footage to get everything on it. So then, see all the wrinkles and everything? We don't really care because we're going to scrunch this up anyway. So I'm just going to take my template right there so that I can, because it's going to need a what do you call it, crease right there down the center anyway. So we're just going to take a pencil, because I don't want to use a marker, because I don't want to have any of it showing. And it doesn't have to be perfect because leaves are not perfect. And it looks better if they are all different anyway. So just roughly do it. Okay, so we have our first piece that we want to use. So then we're just going to cut it out, and I'll show in a second. I'll get it cut out and show you. And there we go. So then we're just gonna crumple that part up. And even more, depending on the look you're going for. You want it to look like a real leaf. And only 100 more to go. But it'll look cute. So what I think I'm going to do is, from here on out, I'm going to take and fold up a few pieces and then stick this on instead of drawing it, and then cut it, or I can fold it and draw on it, and that way I can cut more at one time. So see how they turn out, just kind of different ways. And then you want to just make sure to fold it in the center to give the vine, or the vine in the center, or vein, I guess is what it is. And just do it somehow. It doesn't have to be perfect, because no one's gonna notice. And just crinkle it up. There you go. And I think I'm not going to use these because I really like the look of these, and I'm going to just use the bigger and smaller ones of this with the different colors. So that's what I'm going to do instead. But I will still have these other leaves on my CANVA account, and I'll have that link down below so you can print these out for yourself. This video is a part of a playlist that is hosted by Emily from Farm Charm Chic, and co-host this month is Jetta with Craft Along with Jay. Make sure to go and check both of their channels out and check out that playlist that's linked down below, and subscribe to each and every one of our channels and help us out by watching all of the videos, liking and sharing them. Thank you, and let's get back to the DIYs. I picked out a few nice branches out of the pile that my husband is throwing out, and I think these will work great for this DIY. This is what it looks like in the vase. I got a bottle here vase from Hobby Lobby, but you can use any thrifted vase or any type of container that you'd like for this. Okay, so we're going to put these on different areas, and I'll show you a few, and then I'll speed up the video so you can see it a little faster. Okay, so now I'm going to put glue a little bit up on here, if you can see there, and then down the stem of the leaf so it has something to stick to. And we're just going to put that right in there. So then I'll do a few, and then I will speed it up so that I'm not boring you with this whole process. And there it is. I love how it turned out. This next project, I printed out these pictures on sticker paper that I got on Amazon, and I'll have that link down below. And it's this package of it, and I thought it'd be cute to use this balsa wood, which is $6.99 for 18 squares on Amazon, which is a great deal. It ends up being like 38 cents a piece. So then I'm going to make these cute little pictures out of 3 of them. And then using these dowels I also got on Amazon, I'm cutting them down to kind of off the side, and it'll go like kind of around. You'll see later after I cut it. But I'm just using those as like the frame, as you can see. We're going to cut these out, and then we are going to, since it's sticker, I thought that would be the easiest way. And I'll have the picture of what I saw on Pinterest on the screen. But I thought the easiest way so that the stain doesn't bleed into the part that I want left raw is to use sticker. Now you can, even if you have a Cricut or a Silhouette, you could cut these out on vinyl, and it's even more sticky, and it might even work better. But again, I was trying to go for inexpensive way to make this and less work. So all you have to do is go onto a link I'll have of these down below, and you can just print them out off of my Canva account onto sticker paper. And especially if you don't have one of those machines, they're expensive. And I do have one, but I just thought it'd be better this way for you. So I'm just gonna cut these out, and I'll be right back. Okay, so when you're picking out your wood, make sure, because you're going to stain it, so make sure the grain, I don't know if you can see that, make sure the grain is what you want it to look like once it's stained, because we're not painting. And then that one's a little different because it's kind of swirly. These two which is amazing that this is really for the flower and these are straight for the leaves to give it more, I don't know, decorative look. So I want it to go with the lines going this way instead of this way, if that makes sense. So kind of keep that in mind when you're making them. So now I'm just going to take this off of here. And I forgot to mention I used an X-Acto knife to cut out the center so it had that center part of the flower. Okay, so press down firmly. We want to be able to pull it up still, but we don't want any of the stain to go through. Okay, so I have my antiquing wax and a tiny little sponge from Dollar Tree. So I'm just going to dab it in there, and I don't want too much because I don't know how this is going to work since this is the first time doing this kind of picture. So just get a little bit in there and then dab it in there. So depending on how dark you want it, you want to put it on, then rub it off in sections. I do want it dark, but I wasn't sure I wanted it that dark, but it'll dry pretty quick and it absorb into the wood quickly. So you want to kind of do sections and then rub it off so that it doesn't dry before you can get all of the wax off. So then we want it to dry completely before we take that off. So we're going to just take something and try to pull that back to get it started. I mean, not 100% satisfied, but it turned out pretty cute. And then when I do the leaves next to it, I think it'll make it even better. So we'll move on to the leaves next. Now we're going to do this leaf. I'm just going to fast forward on the leaves because you saw the process with the flower. That way it's not repetitive and you can just see it quickly, how it comes to be and how it turns out. It did still have some bleeding through into the area I didn't want it to go to, but it still turned out super cute. And now the last leaf. I think they all turned out super pretty. This one is a really pretty leaf. So now I have all the wood for the frame cut out, and this is what it's going to look like. And I'm just going to glue each piece with my glue gun, and we are just going to like offset the first one to the right, if you can see, so that the other dowel can mesh up to the left side of that, if that makes sense, because that's what I meant when going around it, so it has a better design to the wood. So again, I'm just fast forwarding it for you so that it's not taking too much time, because it is simple, and you just turn it and do it on towards the right side each time you turn it, and it just makes a really cute design. And I think this turned out adorable. I love this project, and I do it on all the others as well. I think they all turned out super cute. Let me know what you think. This next DIY, I'm using these wood rings, and I got them also on Amazon, and they come with several in there, but I'm only going to use 2 of the smaller ones that come in it, and here it is. This is going to be the center of a flower. So now I have this drop cloth that I've had for a while. I get them at Harbor Freight, and they're usually around $10, maybe $11, and they last forever. It's like 6 or 7 yards, I can't remember, but it's a lot of fabric, and it's really good for farmhouse or rustic decor and any kind of pillows or crafting that you could or that you want to use it for. It's perfect fabric. So now I'm just going to cut it and then strip it into, it's about 1-inch strips for this flower that I'm going to make, and then I'm going to cut them down. So we're just going to rip that all the way down and then cut the end off of the base of the fold where it hooks to the end of the fabric. Then you just want to take the strips and cut them down to the size of the ring that you want for the petals. Mine are around 5.5 to 6 inches long for this smaller ring. Then you want to take each strip and fold it in half, and then what you're going to do is take the folded part and stick it through the ring, and then get it looped around your finger, and then pull the ends of the fabric through that loop, and then tighten it down onto the ring as much as you can because it is thick fabric. And then you have a couple of your cute little petals, and then spread them out so that it's a little tight, and then it looks like petals, and then just repeat that all the way around. I think I have 6 or 7 strips on this one ring. And then once you have it all on, you just kind of want to mess with it and make sure it's all tight in, and then spread out the petals so that they separate from each other. So now that you have your flower all set and ready to go, I have this ribbon that I picked up from Joann's when they had their clearance sale before they went out of business, and it was really inexpensive, and so I'm just using this tiny little portion here as the center of the flower, and I'm just cutting it down. And what I'm going to do is turn it over and trace a circle, which I found this lid with a cork of a bottle, and I'm just turning it over too and using a gel pen to draw the circle around so that I have a template to cut, and it's on the back so you can't see it on the ribbon. So now I'm cutting the circle out, and then I'm just going to glue it to the center of the flower. It already looks super cute, but I had an idea, and I thought I would use these skewers, and you can get these skewers at Dollar Tree, and I thought it would be cute so that you could put it in a plant or in a vase, or even in an arrangement that has foam. You can just poke it in and include it with your flower arrangement. So I'm going to glue it onto the back here, and that's what it's going to look like. But that the raw wood is too bright, and I wanted it to kind of blend with that middle part of the flower. So I have my Tim Holtz distressing ink, and I'm just going to rub that all over the stick so that it blends it and makes it look more rustic. So now I'm just going to glue the stick to the back of the flower at the top there, and it is super easy flower to make, and you can make it with any fabric, any ribbon, And it just turned out super cute. I was so surprised. I had it in my mind and I thought, hey, this is going to be cute. But I didn't think it would turn out this cute. So I love it. Tell me what you think. I just wanted to take some time to ask you if you would follow me on Instagram as well as Facebook. And if you still have TikTok on your phone, you're lucky and you can still follow me. So head on over. My next one is using these leaves from Dollar Tree. I'm assuming they still sell these. I've had these forever, so I'm not sure if they still have them. But we're using 6 of them, and instead of painting them or doing anything, it's going to be just simple. And I was hoping I had different sizes, but I didn't, and so I'm just going all the same size, and I'm using it for a wall hanger to put along a branch with ribbon or twine. So it's just going to be a natural kind of look. But I have this Tim Holtz distressing ink, and this is the best little tool here. I love it, that comes, or that you can buy to use with this. And I'm just going to take it all the way around the edges to give it some color. Just like that. So then that's how I'm going to do all of them. And I want to stop here and say you can also try to use, you know, a small dab on a rag of that antiquing wax to do this, and it would work too. This is just easier for me, and if you want to purchase this, I'll have the link down below of Amazon where I got mine. And look how pretty that is. And now I'm going to finish all of the rest of them the same way. Okay, there we go. They're all finished, and I think they're adorable. Okay, so now I have this beautiful ribbon from Joann's when they closed and got it for a good deal. And it's so pretty that I wanted to use it on this, so I don't have a thinner piece, so I had to cut them. So once I hang them all, then I can trim like the excess fraying that's on there. So I just love the color with this. I think it's going to look really pretty. So I need to measure where I want each of these, because I'm going to kind of stagger them, kind of like this sort of thing. Okay, so I have all of the ribbons cut, and then I think this is how I want to stagger them. So for now, I'm just going to put these through each of the holes, and then maybe go from there and then glue them on as I go. That way I can kind of, if I change my mind, I can fix it. So I'm just going to cut this to a point to have a point on it, and then just stick it in there from the back. We're just going to tie that in a knot and see where it's fraying, so we're going to clean that up. That's the hard part about if you cut the ribbon, because it's going to fray some until you get it set. So see, look how pretty that's going to look. And just cut that part off at the end there, so it's not so big. And then that's how it's going to look on the hanging from the stick. So we're going to do that all the way around, and then we're done. Okay, they're all done, and then I'm going to go measure them on my wall where I want to put this, and then I will come back and glue them after I've trimmed the edges of where I want them. I am so sorry I lost the video, or I didn't hit record when I actually glued these on the stick, but you'll see how pretty it turned out. For my next project, I picked up these beads from Dollar Tree, and I thought, you never know, I need a bead sometime, I need to pick this up. So I grab it when I can, and I just look at it and I figure wreath. So I thought, why mess with something that's already so pretty? And so you remember those paper leaves? I'm just going to put them along the left side of the ring and just taper them down for a wreath. So I think it turns out really pretty, and I hope that you like this one as well. So I'm just going to take my hot glue and do it a portion of the way up the leaf and on the stem, and then just place them as I think it would look good. And the stem kind of works as a hook sometimes on these things, so that it stays and stabilizes it pretty well. So I'm just going to fast forward this and show you how I glued them all on. And here I'm using the lighter small leaves to kind of give a highlight here and there, and it turns out really pretty. So along with that other ribbon I got at Joann's, I got this other lighter color, and it is so pretty. It's just velvet, and I thought it would look really cute with this because it gives the same colors as all of the other projects that I have. And the funny thing is I didn't even plan this, so I'm brilliant. Just kidding. But I'm just going to make a bow to put on top here, and I thought it'd be cute to use both of those. And I do have some burlap, and I'll show you here how I did the bow. So now I have a piece of the burlap and then each of the ribbons, and now I'm just trimming here, and then I'm going to dovetail each end of all of it. So now I'm just going to take each piece and crisscross it over the other one. My burlap was kind of wrinkled, but it still will work. And then you bunch up the center, and then you get your wire and wrap around that and twist it in the back so it holds it all together. So then just trim off the excess wire, and you have part of your ribbon completed. And then what I thought would look better is I was trying to compare the colors on the front. If I wanted the lighter color around the center to cover up the wire, or do I want the dark color? So I went with the dark color. I thought it kind of matched it better, but either one would have worked. And so because it is thicker, I had to cut it in half and use half of that strip instead, and it worked out perfect. So now you just want to wrap that around the front, and then be careful with the wire, and you just want to hot glue each of the ends to the back, and you want it kind of tight depending on how thick your bow is, so that it looks like it was tied. So then you just want to take your bow and with the wire connect it to the top or wherever you're wanting to put it onto your wreath. I'm just looping it through that metal piece that's on there, and just so it can hold on pretty well, and just twisting it so that it's on there really good. And I do end up making a loop so it's easier to hang on a wreath hanger or the wall, so that it's not using the actual beaded part to hold onto anything. I think it turned out pretty cute. Let me know what you think. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm glad that you stayed this long through the end. Make sure to check out that playlist and watch all of the videos, and hopefully you will subscribe, like, and share their videos as well, and also mine if you could. And if you're new here, welcome, and I hope that you will consider to subscribe as well. I hope that you'll come back and watch more, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful day.